In this video, I want to talk about one of the cameras that I use to shoot my videos, those hiking and camping videos that you see on my channel. I use the GoPro Hero 7 Black primarily, and I purchased this camera about a year ago. In fact, back in April of 2020. So I've had this for just over a year now, and it's held up very nicely. It still looks brand new, and I really love this compact camera. Now there are other more updated versions of the GoPro. I'm very happy with my Hero 7 Black because it does everything that I needed to do. I see no need to do an upgrade. Now, when I purchased this camera, I paid about I believe it was $550 for it. Now, if you can find one new, you will pay about $250 for it. And I believe it's a very good investment. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how I configure my GoPro Hero 7 Black to shoot my videos. I do lots of post-production. And for those of you who are novices and don't know what that means, it simply means that I do my own color grading and other things using applications on my computers or my iPad Pro, such as LumaFusion or Final Cut Pro. Okay, so to show you what we have here, just to show you a few of the features, the camera is pretty lightweight. It really feels good in the hand. One could use it without a selfie stick or a gimbal. I use mine with a gimbal because I like the extra stabilization. Now the Hero 7 Black does have what is called hyper smooth, which is really like, I guess we can call it stabilization. Some say it's a gimbal killer. I have not really seen that. It does have a pretty smooth glide to it when you have this in your hand and you're just shooting video. But I like it with a gimbal because it really gives it that extra smooth feel about your videos. It also has a feature called time warp, which is really time lapse or hyperlapse. I haven't used that, but I find it very convenient because it's lightweight. You can put it into your pocket and just go. The only downside to this is the battery life. The battery lasts about 2 hours. But I carry 3 batteries and I have a battery charger, so I keep a nice fresh supply of charged up batteries to use with this. Oh, I should also say that within this battery compartment, you have this slot here for your Microsd card. And I have a 64 gigabyte. That's basically all I need. I can connect an external microphone to this, and I do when I'm out doing videos. You just pop this side panel and you can connect an external microphone to this. And I have that. There's another video, I'll link to it below, and you can see how I have my jig set up. Now you cannot connect an external microphone to this with the particular gimbal that I use. But if you just have a simple jig like you see here in the video, then pop in an external microphone and you're good to go. Configuration is easy. Now you can turn on the power button here on the side. While there's an app that you can use to configure your GoPro, you cannot configure everything in an app. So let me show you my settings on my GoPro. Now it's very easy to configure. And I primarily use my GoPro for shooting videos, so you're gonna want to go to the video section here. So you have time lapse. If you scroll or swipe across, you come to video. Then at the bottom down here, just tap on that. And in fact, let me show you. Right now, my current settings are 1080p resolution, 30 frames per second, and the L stands for linear. So if I tap on that, I can change these settings. For example, if I want to say change the resolution and the frame rate, I tap on that and I can just check on, say, place that on 2.7K or 4K on that side. I normally shoot my videos at 1080p, so I'm going to put it back at 1080p. On the right over here, I can change that to another resolution, so I'll tap on that and say 60. And my last video, my last hike, actually I shot at 1080p at 60 frames per second. However, normally I shoot at 30 frames per second, so I put it back at where that was. Tap on the arrow, and then we can scroll down and look at the stabilization. My stabilization is set to auto, Pro Tune is turned on, and my shutter speed is set to auto. The EV comp, I have that set to 0. White balance is at auto, and my ISO minimum is set to 100. My ISO max is set for 800 in case I'm in some low light type situations. The sharpness, I have it set to medium. I don't like the high setting. In fact, if I tap on that, you see I can go between high, medium, and low. Low's okay, but I find medium a good compromise, so I'll select medium. My color, I have that set to flat, and the reason why is because I do a lot of my post-production using an app called LumaFusion or Final Cut Pro, and I can go in there and I can manipulate how I want my videos to look as far as the colors. Now, if you don't want to do that, I recommend setting this to the GoPro setting here, and GoPro does its best to give you the best color rendering of your videos. But personally, I set mine to flat for the reasons that I just stated. Raw audio, I have it set to medium, and the microphone or mics auto, and my PT settings is set to reset, and that's it. Those are my GoPro settings, and I find I get very nice video when I use this this camera. Very happy with it. And there are all kinds of jigs you can purchase for this camera. I have a jig that allows me to connect this to the handlebars of my bike when I'm out riding, to my biking helmet. Also, I have a jig where it allows me to connect it to the windshield of my car to shoot video. I see no reason to upgrade to the newer version of the GoPro, since this fulfills my needs, and plus those cameras are expensive. And there's nothing wrong with this. It does everything that I needed to do. Okay, I've connected to my GoPro app on my iPad Pro. Let's take a look at my settings. In aspect ratio, you can go in and set this to 4K, 2.7K, 1080p, 720. Again, my default is 1080p. Field of view right now is set to wide. I have it normally set to normal. The last video that I shot with my GoPro, I used the wide field of view, so I'm going to set this back to linear. When you have it set to wide or super view, you get that fishbowl look. Wide is not bad, but I like linear when I'm shooting my videos. I always turn video stabilization on. Short clip length, I have that set to off. Voice control, if I turn that on, there are various voice controls you can use, like GoPro off, GoPro on. I have that turned off. Voice control language, I have it set to English. You have various settings in here that you can choose, as you can see here. The LED that's in the front of the GoPro, I have that turned off. Quick capture, I have that turned off. The default mode when I turn on my GoPro, I want it to come up so I can shoot video. I could set this to other settings, say such as looping or photo or night photo. So, but video is my default mode. Auto off, never. Screensaver have it set to never. Auto lock is set to off. My LCD brightness, that's what you see on the back of your GoPro, I have it set to about 42%. And that's subjective, whatever you feel. But please know that the higher you set this to, the more tasking it is on your battery. The orientation, have that set to off. The reason why that's set to off is because if you turn that on, sometimes your GoPro will go into these different weird orientations, such as landscape on the fly, and you might not want that. So I have it set to off. GPS, I always have it set to on. Language, English. The video format, since I live in the United States, is NTSC. You can choose PAL if you live in another country. The video compression, have mine set to H.264 plus HEVC. You have another option here, which is HEVC, but H.264 plus HEVC works best for me. You can set the date and time here. The GoPro will pick up on the time and date set on your phone. So, you know, the timestamps on your videos and photos will be correct. Delete last file. These are settings that you actually come in and you tap this link and it will do as it says here. If you want to format your SD card, you click on delete all files from the SD card and it does a format. Locate camera, I have it set to off. I don't use that feature. You could. The battery level, it shows the battery level down here is at 90%. The SD card capacity, if you tick on that arrow there, you can see that I just reformatted my SD card, so there are 0 videos on that card. In other words, there's no data on that card. Video time remaining on that card. And again, it's a 64 gigabyte card. I have 2 hours and 14 minutes remaining on it. Shows no photos on the card. Photos remaining. I can shoot up to, based on the settings on this GoPro, I can shoot up to 8,224 photos. Okay, so that's my take on the Hero 7 Black. I think it's a great camera. Thanks for watching.